Well, the reason why I'm running for the Green Party, the reason why I'm running in federal politics altogether, the impetus for me to run was C51 and was Islamophobia and was the rhetoric of fear and division that's being used by all of the parties, not just the Harper conservatives, but even the other parties talking about things like hijabs and niqabs and all that sort of stuff. And I knew I needed to do something, right? I needed to take a stand. And luckily, I am in Canada, and it allows me the freedom of speech, my charter rights and freedoms to be able to stand up. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm standing as a Green Party MP because the Green Party MP can speak on behalf of their community, can speak on behalf of their constituents, and does not have to live in fear of being whipped to vote a certain way or not. What really got to me was when the Liberals voted for C51, even though they didn't agree with C51. That's taken a, it's not a real position. You're wishy-washy. How can politics run that way, right? The only way a democracy works is when people vote for what they believe in. That is why I'm running for the Green Party. That's why I decided to come out here, because I bring accountability to the other three parties, because I speak what they're not allowed to speak. At the Green Party, more important than the Green Party, you need to choose an MP in your riding that will truly represent your voice in the House of Commons. So you need to look around at the 4 or 5, 3 people that are going to represent you, and you need to ask them explicit questions. How will you vote on, and will you vote for me? Like, will you represent my interests or your party's interests? That's the number one thing. As a Green Party MP, I have a policy and a platform, but essentially it boils down to respect for the environment, respect for the earth, fiscal conservatism, so smart economic policies, and social responsibility. Right? That is the umbrella that I fall under. However, I speak on behalf of my community always. I loved it. I truly enjoyed being on stage. I was honored to be on the stage with 3 other candidates that are very well versed in their party policies, and I'm so thankful that Dawanet has put this on and every other organizer that has put this on to have this Muslim Youth Forum. When you get out there on October 19th, it is so important for Muslim youth, for all youth, for everyone actually in Canada to vote. 40% of us didn't vote last time. You need to get there. You need to have your name checked off on that Elections Canada list so the government knows that this community is voting, this individual is voting. They don't know who you're voting for. And in the end, a lot of people are going to talk about strategic voting, voting for the Liberals or voting for the NDPs to ensure that the Conservatives don't gain power again. But what happens a lot of times with the strategic vote idea is that people don't vote at all because they're afraid of making the wrong choice. You know what, I'm afraid that if I vote for the NDP, the Liberals not going to win and the Conservatives going to win again, or vice versa. So what happens is that people abandon their votes. You cannot let that happen. You need to ensure on October 19th, you get out there and vote for a candidate that you believe in, that you agree with. And even if you don't vote for a candidate, get out there and vote for something. Worst comes to worst, spoil your ballot, but show the Canadian government that our community has a voice and will vote, and vote in numbers this time. Thank you very much.